Hello and welcome to my studio. My name is Lisa Ochowycz and I'm an abstract painter inspired by place. So often they reference landscapes or memories or an experience of a place, and I take all of that inspiration and translate it into paint. I worked at Opus quite a while ago now, but it was a marvelous, marvelous time for me. What it did was it gave me a chance to learn so much about a wide variety of art materials. And two, I was given the opportunity to experiment with some of those and also work with colleagues whose practice circled around those things. Having access to those materials to experiment with myself was really wonderful. And then I could try that new color of paint. I could try that new brush. I could practice with something that I might not normally gravitate towards myself, but that when I did, it opened a whole new door of exploration for me. I think it heightened my curious nature, and it gave me a place to play with that, and that's something I still keep with me to this day. Experimentation is really one of the pillars of my practice, and what it does 2 decades in is it keeps me engaged in my work, and it always adds an element of surprise. So it's true, as we get more and more used to our materials and ways of working, there's sort of a well-worn groove that can happen that can be really fruitful. But in order to keep it fresh and interesting and increasing your knowledge, that play and experimentation is really important. And it will lead you places that you never would have expected. Sometimes you're going to do a U-turn, and sometimes it's like a whole new road that gets paved and you follow that for a while. When I think of color in my work, I really do think of it as intuitive. A lot of color mixing happens on the piece itself. I do take that time to mix, on a palette and make up little pots of color and whatnot. But I also love nuance and subtlety. And so the color mixing can happen on the piece itself. And so it's one of those things where when I do a brush stroke, that one will tell me, oh, the next one wants to be darker, lighter, a totally different color, whatever it is that I'm after. So it is an intuitive aspect, but that intuition comes from years of color mixing, from years of playing with color, from the ability to see more nuances over time. So it's kind of this it's a balancing act. What I'm actually painting, it's intuitive, but I'm relying on all of that sort of skill being built up over time. So, welcome. Here we are in my studio. I have a bunch of beautiful new colors from Opus that I'm excited to play with. If I do have a bunch of beautiful new paints, I might first start playing on paper after I've squeezed them out and kind of taken a look at them. I don't have a specific order always that I put my palette in. Sometimes I do warms and cools. Today I'm just going to mix it up a little bit. The next one is a Yellow Cinnabar green. And right away what I am noticing is that they're very creamy. They're quite buttery. And that's, for me, that's quite pleasant. There's a Mars yellow. So now that we've got the colors kind of all mixed out there, or pardon me, all set out there, that's when, so first and foremost, it's kind of like a candy store. Your eyes begin to pick up the colors, and even though you're not really sure what you're going to do with them yet, you start to get a sense of their character. And then I tend to play with some paper first. So when I begin to play with paints, and let's say I have a bunch of beautiful new colors that I'm curious about, but I don't yet know how I would want to integrate them into my work. One of the things I would do is lay them out, noticing what they look like when they come out of the tube, if they're buttery, if they're heavy, etc. But then I'm also going to play with them in color mixing. But I do want to know the actual color. So right now on my brush, I have a little bit. I'm just going to pull and do a little swab here on the paper, kind of get a sense of that. And in between, I'm going to rinse my brush out here with water, dab it off a little bit. And I'll probably have a good handful of colors I can do like this before I need to switch the brush. Why don't we use this one? So that's a Mars Yellow Light. And I'm gonna Right now, I'm going to start with about the same amount, mix them together. And you can see I've created sort of this lovely light orange color. Bring it over and kind of play and see how that is. I know at this point for me, my curiosity gets the better of me. And I'm like, okay, I want to start to see how can I really use these. I get a sense of the mood and character. And now what I might do is put this particular paper aside. Maybe I would even go as much as to organize and to write down what each one of these colors were. I'm just going to start to play. So I am an abstract painter, and so I really like movement and to kind of dance along. And right now, I just want to start to see what the character is like when I mix on the surface versus mixing a separate color here. And I'm kind of going by feel. I'm changing up how much of the composition is filled up with a color, and so sort of and thinking about that movement as the eye moves around. Change my brush, come over here. Let's take some of that mixing natural tint. And immediately, okay, I see, oh, okay, once I've mixed sort of the neutral tint with the warm mixing gray, the warm gray, I kind of get a better sense of what that is, and I can play with it a little bit. So again, nothing too precious, nothing perfect. I can make this into a to-do list afterwards. I could come back to this and add more to it once it's dry if I wanted, but it's just to begin to use and play with them. Once I have that, then I might actually switch over to something like this, which is a canvas board. So it's a little bit more durable, well, it's much more durable than the paper itself. And I might then approach this with a little bit more of an idea and a mood in a sense, and then begin to build a painting that way. What you see here, years of dried up paint, and then they create this like little mountain range almost. But so I put out now the cobalt green deep here, the Mars yellow light. I keep getting drawn to this one, the upper rose. Let's grab some of that green. Oh, right, it's more transparent. I'm remembering that. I want to alter this a little bit. And just like that, so before I was just putting colors out, I wasn't at all sure what it was I was going to do here, but in this mixing process, I just got an idea. I was like, okay, great, let's bring this in. I once had a residency in Iceland, and it was a very meaningful experience for me. And when I mixed this color, I was reminded of the glacier water. And I was like, oh, okay, let's tap into that inspiration and let's begin to build a piece like that. So what I've done is, based on this color, moved my brush around. I've chosen where on this composition I think I want it to feel like a landscape, a remembered landscape. I want a lot of sky and some imagery at the bottom. So where I've chosen to make those first marks on this piece with this color is on purpose in that way, knowing that it might fully change. I wasn't sure what it was I was after. I chose colors kind of at random or that felt like I might want to use. I started by the one that piqued my interest, and from there, the inspiration came out. And I just went with it. I allowed that to take me to some place. I hadn't yet used the violet. I hadn't needed to go over to the black in the end. And that's fine. I'm kind of open to that whole process. And then I know that this might want to dry before I do another pass on it. So I've been thinking about these new colors, and we've spent a little bit of time seeing what they're like. Then we played a little bit with them, kind of in this really loose, playful way. And then we began to actually make something, just the first pass, would paint on this again, but a little bit more concrete and a little bit that's more related to my actual painting practice. But I now would take something like this and this inspiration, and I thought like, oh, I'm working on this piece here that captures some of the same feeling. There's a reference to landscape and actually has quite a playful kind of bottom. And so I was thinking, you know what, I would take some of these new colors and I would integrate them into this painting. And I know at this part of the process, acrylic paint can be painted over, so it's still that playful exploratory time. Maybe towards the end I get a little bit more exact, but right now is the perfect time in the process to integrate them and see what it's like. So I'm actually going to take, this is kind of fun. Are you ready for it? I'm going to take a brush, and because I am very considerate about how much paint I'm using. I don't want to waste things. So I'm going to go ahead and this one that we put out for experimentation earlier, and just take some of the colors off of there. So this one, and I'm just going to go for it. Right now I haven't mixed this color at all, but I want to see how does it layer on top of paint that's already there. I'm dancing across, I'm thinking about the eye moving across, I'm thinking about more intense colors towards the bottom, I'll think about lighter colors towards the top. I'm thinking about scale, so these marks feel about right to me. I haven't filled the whole space with that color. Okay, that feels good. There is already some yellows in here. I'd like to mimic that again, repetitive mark making. And what I notice when I put these ones down, okay, it's bright, it's intense, it's brighter than anything else that's there. I take a step back, I take a look at it. Okay, it's beginning to be lively, but I want to push the yellow back a bit. That's when, and this is super fun, when you can use that other sort of the dirty water that you're using and drip a little bit. When I'm thinking about adding a new color into my palette, I find it comes in a couple of different ways. Sometimes it's pure curiosity. I was at Opus and I saw, these colors and I'm like, oh, that's beautiful. I wonder what it's like. I'd love to try and use that. And so sometimes the inspiration comes from the color itself. Sometimes it's more the mood of the piece that I'm after and the feeling and the sense that I have. I want to take this in a different way. Let me see what it's like to use a new kind of brighter, more intense color, and if I combine that in a softer way within the series that I'm working on. So it's a curiosity that leads me to using a new color, for sure. Sometimes it's an internal curiosity, and sometimes it comes from the outside, from being at Opus, seeing something I like, and wanting to try that. And then from there, I know it will lead me somewhere. Sometimes it will lead me in a direction of like, oh yes, that's exactly what I'm after. That's giving me a new vocabulary. You can think about it like language. It gives you new words to use, new ways to describe things. Sometimes it tells you like, oh no, that's not the direction this piece wants to go. You want to bring it back. But both of those things are information. And so here, I have some of that titanium white mixed with that Titan buff, mixed with that little bit of green gray we had mixed earlier. And I'm just curious, what does that feel like when I add that to the piece? So I guess it's a fairly intuitive process. There's a lot of information that comes from the painting process itself. And my process itself is not too precious in that I know I can alter it afterwards. So I'm going to go ahead and try and see, and being such a visual person, the ability to see what this is like. I'm going to use a little bit of that Opera Rose color again, get a little bit of pink in there. I'm mixing larger amounts of paint. There's more paint on my brush because I want to cover a larger area. And I'm just curious. What does that feel like when I add that in? And it's this wonderful mixture of curiosity and looseness and freedom, but attention. So when this dries, if I didn't want such a big color shift, right now is the time to continue to blend that. I am paying attention to that. If I didn't want the brush strokes here and wanted this smooth and things all the way to the end, right now in this layer is the time to address that. And so I'm taking that time to go all the way to the edges and leave it in a way that feels right for right now. Then I would take a look at it, step back from it. Oh, something I notice is with these warmer colors we added down here, and then a little bit of warmth in the sky, I've shifted it all to a warmer palette and kind of like it. So now I would sit with it for a while and see what it wants to be in the next phase and slowly build up that imagery over time. So thinking about my work and thinking about including new colors, one of the things I do love about it is it will give me this moment where it can take the work in a different direction, and that can be really rewarding. So when we were mixing the colors and we put the purple down and even the orange here, the bright sort of gold color, both of those, especially when they were on the palette, the purple was like, oh, I'm not sure how this will feel on the painting. But all of a sudden you put it in, I really like how it was interacting with the other imagery that was there, the other colors that were there. And that gave me the moment of, what would it be like to put truly a much brighter, warmer color in there? And then the whole work kind of took this shift to a warmer palette. And I find that really rewarding because it gives me these moments of aha or surprise, unknown. And if you're willing and open to going with them, they really can shift your work in positive ways. The other part too, and I would say with experimenting, and there's an aspect, especially in all of these earlier phases of the painting process for me, where it's not precious, where I am open to seeing what happens, and that curiosity leads the way. And that really has led to many sort of breakthrough moments for me, many aha moments, many unexpected compositions or unexpected color pairings that have just fueled my curiosity and my love of paint and brought the work to a sort of a richer, deeper level. Something I notice right now, this mark for me is now about half dry, and I want to loosen it a little bit. So again, I'm going to use some water and shift that, and because it's still a little bit wet, I'm picking up a little bit of that paint, and I can transfer that in a subtle way somewhere else. So that's also something I'm open to during the painting process, and I don't get too surprised or thrown off with when something unexpected happens. I am still here, I'm discerning, I'm making those choices, I'm paying attention, but I am open to the unexpected quality. I'm open to learning from it, and I'm open to it fueling the painting process for me. And over all these years, 2 decades now, that's really something that's continued to drive my love of paint, my love of process, and the sort of always learning aspect of my actual practice. So one of the things, I'm going to let you in on a little aha moment for me. One of the things that I've realized over time is that all colors, whether I like them or don't, whether I gravitate towards them or not, whether I understand how to use them in my painting or not, they all have a purpose and they're all relevant. And I've generally learned never say never, because if you say never, you're going to end up using them. And so that's why it's like, let's say you like cools and you often paint in blues and greens and grays, that's me, pinks and purples and oranges, they all have a purpose. And sometimes it's that unexpected aspect, and it's a surprise for the viewer, for you, and for the work. So that's one of the things I wish I knew earlier on, was that never to say never, appreciate them for what they are, play with them, practice with them, see how it would be that you might include them into your process. And by them, I mean colors you don't gravitate towards, colors you don't really understand yet. Give yourself that time and that freedom to play with them, so that then when you do want to use them, or you need a moment of inspiration, you can go to them and grab them. The other thing that I absolutely love is that color theory and color mixing is your whole career long. Like, it's alchemy, it's magic, it's beautiful. And the more time you spend playing with color, practicing, even doing some of those sort of drills and things like that, the richer your quiver of arrows will be, the more tools in your toolbox. And it's just like, it's a door to a magic garden that's endless. So enjoy color mixing, practice with the things that it is that you don't gravitate towards. It can be really enriching, and and play.
Huge thanks to Lisa for inviting us into her process. Whether you're exploring a fresh palette, revisiting colors you've avoided, or simply asking what if, these new Opus Essential Acrylic colors are here to support that moment of curiosity. So take your time, play freely, let surprise lead the way, and see where the colors take you. Thanks for watching.